Tavarashi. So, unfortunately, I have to talk about something. I really didn't want to make this video. Penguinz0, until now, has been one of the creators I really respected. I thought he was a really great guy. He was right up there with Josh Dreyfus as one of the people I trusted not to promote insidious, life-destroying things to his audience, okay? I really appreciate how he promotes physical health, physical fitness, all of that kind of stuff. I genuinely thought until now that he kind of cared about the effect he had on the world a little bit, enough to, draw the line somewhere. But, I don't know. I hope this was just negligence, but, here goes.
Maybe it's time to get a little crazy. Maybe it's time to play a little bit of America's pastime, which everyone knows is betting on sports events. And that...
Yes, you actually heard that right. They're promoting a gambling website. Now that is not the voice of Penguinz0 you just heard. That's the voice of the other guy who always does the embedded advertising in his podcast. But it is on his podcast. He did upload this. He did not say anything against it at all. He literally just grunted when it was over. So yeah, he's responsible.
That's why you can hop on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL that is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game.
Wow, this is really great. That's not a scam at all, right? I mean, this is totally up and up. This is totally honest. This is totally decent. It's a good. You'd be a fool not to play sports bets. I don't think it takes a galaxy brain to figure out that if they're going to give you $200 in free bets, they're planning on making a lot more than $200 off of you. Just saying. They're not going to give you that amount of money as a bonus unless they're planning on running you through the ringer, unless they're planning on taking every last drop of blood that you have, like the vampires that they are. And this is just sick. Gambling is a life-ruining addiction. In fact, it's one of the most destructive life-ruining addictions there is. It's also, by the way, an addiction which is particularly associated with all kinds of crimes, okay? Just about any kind of crime you can name has a stronger correlation with gambling than almost any other form of addiction. But this is, and it doesn't just affect the addicts, because I don't know, maybe you're just a social Darwinist evil person or whatever, and you don't care about the gamblers. But you know what? This affects other people too. Let's just say, hypothetically, you're a child of a man with a gambling addiction, and this sets him off. And by the way, that's how this works with addicts. This is something you need to understand. Addicts try to quit, and then they see something that triggers them and sets them off on another binge, okay? This is something that happens with any kind of addiction. If you're exposed to it again, if someone pushes it on you, even if you quit, you can fall right back into that. And so someone who, hypothetically has, children and stuff, and they've been ruining their child's lives by gambling, and they quit gambling, trying to get their lives back together, they see this, off on another bender. This is just evil. Now, they do have, after the gambling, shilling is over, they do put in a disclaimer where they say, if you have please enjoy responsibly. Please enjoy this crystal meth responsibly, in effect. And no, that does not make it okay, all right? If BitBoy Crypto, when he's, shilling cryptocurrencies that are just rug pulls, if he says not financial advice at the end of his video, does that mean that he's not a scammer? No. It means he's a scammer who is sufficiently aware that he's scamming people that he included a disclaimer at the end. It doesn't mean he's innocent. Actually, the opposite. If someone includes a disclaimer like that, that means they know that what they're doing is wrong, and so they're adding a disclaimer to protect them from legal consequences. If Arya Realty tells you to buy land on Earth 2 and says not financial advice, which, by the way, he did quite a few times, does that mean he's not selling you, a scam? No, he's totally selling you a scam. That's the point. And he's including the not financial advice because he wants to ensure that he can keep all of his ill-gotten wealth without being sued. Logan Paul, shills NFTs. Would anyone say he's not a scammer if he says not financial advice somewhere? No, he's a scammer who says not financial advice because he wants to keep his ill-gotten wealth. And to see Charlie doing this, I mean, well, technically it isn't Charlie. Technically it is, it's this guy over here, the guy who always does the embedded ads. But Charlie uploaded this. This is on Charlie's channel. This is Charlie's podcast. And Charlie never does the ad reads. It's always this guy. So, I mean, he's responsible for this. And Charlie doesn't need the money. Charlie has been putting money into esports, which he admits is a financial black hole. So he literally has more money than he knows what to do with. So he's like doing stuff like esports and, some kind of fake pro wrestling league, all kinds of stuff. He's throwing money in places that he knows he's not going to get it back because he has so much money. He doesn't know what to do with it all. But now he's promoting gambling. He's promoting gambling to his audience. And this is just sick. I don't know how else to say it. I hope maybe he's just asleep at the wheel and, maybe he sees this or someone tells him, hey, Charlie, about that gambling thing. And, maybe in the future he'll come back and say, you know what, maybe don't do the gambling again. Maybe he'll tell this guy, hey, I don't want to do any more gambling promotions on my podcast. That is what I hope, but I wouldn't get my hopes up because this is how the internet works. You keep watching your favorite people long enough, and eventually they're going to just start selling their audience to, what George Lucas would say, to white slavers. They're going to start selling their audience to predators who want to ruin their lives with life-changing addictions that don't just ruin the lives of the gamblers, by the way. They destroy the lives of the children and families of those gamblers. So, yeah, seriously. What the hell? Of all the ways to make money, you have more money than you need. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, Charlie?
Today I wanted to tell a story I recently told on stream about the time I got scammed for all of the money I had at the time.
Oh wow, that sounds really terrible, Charlie. That sounds really terrible.
The crown is yours. And now I have a fun little disclaimer to read. Everyone loves these. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, they're 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, you can call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org.
You notice how the hotline he mentions, it's like for New York and Connecticut. Like, what's missing there? Oh gee, most of the country, including even Florida, which is where Charlie lives. Like, it's so obvious that they don't even want people to think about this.
Play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus age varies.
Oh yeah, play responsibly on behalf of a casino. Yeah, totally. That makes sense. That's like someone who sells crystal meth telling you to enjoy responsibly. Yeah, right. Yeah, they're giving you $200 in free bets, in the hopes of getting you addicted to a form of theft that actually steals from you over and over and over again, not just once. I could have more respect for these people if they were cat burglars and pickpockets, because usually those kind of people only rob you once. These people basically want to make you into their slave.
By jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football.
See, void in Ontario. You see, this is banned in Ontario. So this is the reason he mentioned something that is only could only really help you if you're in New York or Connecticut. It's not because this is only available in New York and Connecticut, because otherwise why would he need to say it was void in Ontario? As from what I can tell, I'm speculating here, but from what I can tell, it's literally that he doesn't want anyone who is, has a gambling problem to even be able to access this obligatory thing he just threw in at the end to make people feel better, which, by the way, is literally what he says. Listen.
For eligibility, terms, and responsibility, gaming resources, bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. See, that was painless. It's like when you get a shot at the doctor and they give you a lollipop after. DraftKings Sportsbook, code official.
That last bit in the fucking disclaimer?
No, I added that part so everyone would feel better at home.
Now, you see, this is the part where Charlie, who's as usual, just looks completely disinterested, like he's doing his shopping or whatever, which is how he always looks during these podcasts. This is the point where he has a chance to, save whatever is left of his soul and be like, you know what? I think gambling is a bad idea. I don't think people should gamble. And, maybe, I just want to say that, this is in the podcast, but I personally don't support it. Something like that, anything whatsoever. Listen to what he says.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. I had.
Yeah, that's Charlie's response. Someone on his podcast, which he posted on his channel, is promoting gambling, and his response is just an indolent grunt. Think about that. That's his response to someone on his podcast, which he posts on his channel, promoting one of the most dangerous addictions that there is. Seriously. Now, you don't believe me maybe about this whatever, wanting to promote gambling and not wanting anyone to think about, how to get over it? Look, here's the promo for the gambling right here at the top. Read disclaimer at the bottom of the description. Oh gee, I wonder what that is. Literally after everything, after the timestamps, after the host, after the podcast links, then down here at the very bottom where you would absolutely never see it unless you were actually looking for it. Oh, here's something that might help you if you live in New York or Connecticut. Literally not where Charlie lives, literally not where the podcast comes from. Charlie's in Florida, for crying out loud. If you're in New York or Connecticut, here's a resource you can use to get over the gambling addiction. At the very bottom. And even then, he still puts an ad at the bottom of it, an ad there. And not the bit, and no, he's not hiding the ad at the bottom. The ad is up here. Okay, the ad is up here. But he puts the disclaimer down here, which is like, can only help you if you're in New York or Connecticut. And then he puts the ad in there again, just to make double sure. And you see what he's doing here? He's literally cheating, because you're not supposed to put this kind of link in a description for a YouTube video. So you see what he does here? See, dkng.co. So he's literally like gaming the system here. I mean, I think this is literally a violation of YouTube rules, because he's literally putting in the address for a gambling website, and he's put it in here so that the YouTube systems will not identify it as gambling. This guy, and Charlie, maybe it's not his idea, but he's not stopping it. Seriously.